Welcome, wizard maggots, to the first lesson on how to battle as a wizard. In this first lesson, you will learn the most important aspect about Magicka: self-defenses. Magicka is all about using the right defenses on yourself at the right time against the right attacks. Is that understood, maggot? I'm scared. Cowards will be shot and then rezzed. The first kind of personal shield we will be looking at is the pure self-shield. This shield is generally used as emergency protection. It takes little time to cast and is very defensive. But beware, the shield will not last for very long, so you must rely on other shields for long-term battles. When you have the pure shield on yourself, you are fully defended against all kind of buffs, and you will even reflect beams. Pure self-shields guarantee your survival, while it lasts, of course. Beware though, the pure self-shield will cause knockback against even the slightest bit of physical damage. It is not advised to use the pure self-shield against hordes of orcs and goblins. Later on, we will see how to get a quick kill on someone with a pure self-shield. Our next candidates for today are the rock and ice armors. The ice armor provides additional armor points, but very few additional hit points, whereas the rock armor will provide a bundle of extra hit points. The more elements you cast in the cast bar, the heavier the armor will get. Heavy armors will provide more defense, but don't be surprised if the weight of the armor slows you down. Both armors are almost impervious to physical attacks. It is advised to use this kind of armor if your opponent happens to be using firearms a lot. Be warned, however, the armor can be breached and the bearer killed if sufficient damage is applied. Now, Mr. Purple, get back here on the double! We've got work to do. Now, let's move on to the resistances. If you have an elemental resistance on yourself, you will take absolutely no direct damage and no buff from that element. Any attack with combined elements will also do no direct damage, provided you have at least one of those elements in your resistances. Beware, however, even though the attacks won't do any direct damage, you will still receive buffs for any you don't have resistances. These resistances can be combined with armors to provide both magical and physical protection. No, not sexual protection, you dirty-minded bird. The first most common resistance is the Sair shield. This kind of shield provides protection against beams and thunderbolts. Note, however, that Mr. Purple still receives the water buff from the steam element. The shield will provide you a protection against cold attacks, but you will still freeze if you happen to be wet. Do not underestimate the power of fire. The Sair is particularly exposed to the powerful volcano attacks. The second most common resistance is the safe shield. As the name suggests it, this resistance makes you totally resistant to any kind of magical damage. However, you are highly exposed to cold and water buffs, and you ought to watch out for incoming boulders. That will do for today's lesson. You must learn from my wise words of wisdom, and soon, because as you probably already know, sometimes wizards don't get along. I'll see you next time.